I remember when he was a toddler and I was seeing all of this, how worried I was. Because although like everybody was like, he's a genius and he's so brilliant, in my mind, I was like, I'm afraid he may have autism. Or Asperger's is really what I was leaning towards. The diagnosis of Asperger's was actually like thrown out of the DSM. I think that was a mistake. The autism spectrum is such a broad spectrum, right? It's so hard to categorize that part with the rest of the spectrum. And I think that parents who have like severe kids probably feel this the most. I think there is some sort of like, I don't know the right word to say, but I want to say it's a little awkward, right? Like, how could you have this really broad spectrum and everybody is under this diagnosis of autism? And that's the reason why they came up with the different levels, level 1, 2, and 3. And I still don't think that gives it justice, because someone who is high functioning and so gifted seems just so different from the kids that are nonverbal and really disabled. So I'm pretty sure that's gonna have to change again. I don't think that's going to stay the way it is. Like, yes, I get it. It's part of the social awkwardness, right? My son didn't really seem too socially awkward until I want to say around like 4. The tantrums were terrible, right? But I was like, okay, the tantrums could just be because of his age. Although they were terrible, they did improve as he got older. He did have those tantrums for a really long time though. I mean, they were horrible. He was so rigid. For the most part now, it's like we barely get into that. Once in a blue moon, it'll happen. That I have to point it out and like, look what you're doing. You see what's happening right now? Is there a better way that we can handle this? I had these thoughts in my head of like, I'm really worried. I remember telling his dad, like, I'm just letting you know that I'm thinking this and these are the things that I'm seeing. And his dad would always be like, no, I don't see any of those things. So whenever we would go like for his checkups and stuff like that, his dad had the very opposite experience that I did. Like, his dad would say that he slept the whole night, though his dad never gets up at night. And that's the reason why I never had support during the night, because his dad is one of those sleepers. He sleeps like a log, like does not wake up for anything. I'm like, how do you know whether he's waking up or not? He's probably just all alone. And he was very cranky. He would always be like super cranky when he came back from his dad's house, and I'm like, I bet he's not sleeping and you're just not even noticing it. And he would swear up and down like, no, he sleeps the whole night, I have a camera. I mean, he would say all this stuff that I'm just like, it can't be true. It just can't. It can't be true. So I would always like bring this up, like, I'm exhausted. Like I would tell the pediatrician, like, I'm so exhausted, this is not normal. And you know, is it like, oh, is it the transitioning back and forth from house to house? There were just so many things going on at that time that I could see why everybody was just like, let's wait. But you know, when you're the mom, you know when something's off with your kid. You don't have to be a pediatrician, you know. And this is why I tell parents all the time, like, you know when something is not right. So pay attention. If someone doesn't address it, go to another doctor and keep finding another doctor who will.